A Visit to the Sesame Firehouse. By Dan Elliott, illustrated by Joe Matthew. One day, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover came running into Mr. Hooper's store, all out of breath. "Mr. Hooper, there's a fire across the street," said Big Bird. Mr. Hooper looked out the window. Little wisps of smoke were coming from the window on the third floor of the empty building across the street. "Stay right here," said Mr. Hooper. "I will call the fire department." When Mr. Hooper's call came, the firefighter at the desk sounded the alarm. All the firefighters in the firehouse stopped at what they were doing. Some were polishing the trucks, some were making a snack, some were taking naps. The alarm woke them up. They slid down the fire pole and quickly put on their firefighting clothes. Oh no, they were ready, and so was Hydra the fire dog. One of the firefighters ran outside to stop the traffic. "Okay, all clear," he called. The sirens blared and the fire trucks roared out of the sirens blared and the fire trucks roared out of the firehouse. In a few minutes, the pumper truck, followed by the hook and ladder truck, came tearing down Sesame Street. The driver of the pumper truck connected a large hose to the fire hydrant, while 3 firefighters ran into the building to see how far the fire had spread. In seconds, they were back. "There's too much smoke to go upstairs. Get the ladder." The firefighters on the hook and ladder truck put the ladder up to the third floor window, where the smoke was now pouring out. A firefighter quickly put on a special mask and air tank to protect himself from smoke and climbed up the ladder. Smash! He broke the window and pointed the hose inside. Water sprayed into the smoky room. Slowly, the smoke began to clear. Other firefighters went into the building with more hoses. At last, the fire was out. When Mr. Hooper said it was safe, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover went across the street to thank the firefighters. Then Big Bird saw the firefighter wearing his special mask. "Help!" screamed Big Bird, and he ran to hide behind Big Bird. No. "Help!" screamed Big Bird, and he ran to hide behind Grover. Behind Grover, not Big Bird. "Don't be afraid," said the firefighter. "This mask keeps me from breathing in too much smoke. Underneath every mask is a friendly firefighter. See?" He took off the mask and smiled at Big Bird. Then he had an idea. "How would you and your friends like to visit the firehouse tomorrow?" Everyone said yes, all at once. The next day, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover went to the firehouse. The chief was ready to give them the grand tour. "The firehouse is like a second home for us," said the chief as he took them upstairs. "We make our meals here and we eat here." "This looks like a living room," said Ernie. "It is," said the chief. "We can read a book, relax, or even take naps here. That's why we have cots. Sometimes firefighters work all day and night without going home, and they need to take naps. But the most important thing we do when we're not fighting a fire is clean and test the equipment." Firefighters wear special clothes called turnout gear, said the chief. Our rubber pants snap onto our boots so we can jump into both very quickly. The firefighter wears a helmet and rubber coat and gloves. Sometimes we have to wear a fireproof rescue suit to save people. If there is a lot of smoke, we carry an air tank and mask in case we need it to breathe. We need it to breathe. Oh, I saw one of those yesterday, said Big Bird. The chief let Ernie try on a turnout suit. I'm a spaceman, said Ernie. That's right, Ernie, said the chief. There is a space for 3 of you in that suit. Everybody laughed. Then the chief showed them a big coil of hose. Every fire truck carries a hose to put out fires. Sections of hose and screwed it together to make one very long hose. Our truck has a hose that is more than 5 blocks long. When it is full of water, it is very heavy and will not bend. We use a fire axe to smash windows or chop down locked doors to save people trapped inside. Firefighters need lots of special equipment to help them fight fires, said the chief. Hooks or pike poles are used to pull down ceilings, poke holes in the walls, and pry open windows so that heat and smoke can escape. We can get to a fire from the outside of a building by using a ladder. Some ladders can reach up to the 13th floor of a building. They shoot up from the fire truck like a jack-in-the-box. Is water the only way to put out a fire, asked Ernie. No, said the chief. Water won't stop gasoline from burning. So if a car or an airplane is on fire, we use foam. Foam is made by adding chemicals to water. A special foam gun is attached to the roof of a pumper truck. It shoots foam at the fire. Often fog is the best way to put out a fire, the chief continued. Just by turning the nozzle of the hose, a firefighter can make a fine spray like fog or mist come out. It cuts through heat and smoke so firefighters can get closer to where the fire is. This is our longest fire truck, the hook and ladder truck. It is so long that 2 people have to steer it. The driver in front of the tiller man in back. The tiller man steers the rear wheels to get the truck around corners. Big Bird got behind the wheel in the back. Hey everybody, I'm a tiller bird, he shouted. Grover looked at the other trucks in the firehouse. Why do you have so many trucks? He asked. Each one has a special purpose, said the chief. Pumpers are hose trucks. They are the first trucks at the fire. The firefighters on a pumper connect a short, thick hose between the fire hydrant and the hose on the pumper. The engine of the truck is used to pump water very fast and very hard. The rescue truck goes wherever there is a big fire. It is also sent on special calls to save people in trouble. It carries lots of special tools and equipment. The ambulance also goes wherever there is a big fire. It carries first aid supplies for injured people. It can also take people to the hospital. My cousin Fred lives in the country and he doesn't have a fire hydrant near his house. What would happen if his house or barn was on fire? Asked Ernie. That is a good question, said the chief. When there is a fire in the country, firefighters use a special truck called a tinker pumper. It carries its own water supply in a giant tank. Firefighters can also use ponds, streams, lakes, and even swimming pools to provide water to wet down barns and homes. What if there's a fire on the boat? Asked Ernie. A fireboat is used to fight fires on ships and docks and in buildings along the waterfront. It fills its hose by pumping water right out of the water or bay. It fills its hose by pumping water right out of the river or bay. Okay. Grover had a question too. How do you fight forest fires? We fight them on the ground with small fire trucks called forestry trucks. Forestry trucks carry their own water tank, pump, and hose. We also fight forest fires from the sky. You mean firefighters can fly, said Big Bird. The chief laughed. No, but planes can. We fly very low in airplanes or helicopters and spray water and chemicals to put out the fire. The fire out. Wow, you sure have to know a lot to be a firefighter, said Big Bird. And you must be so strong, said Grover. Can I be a firefighter when I grow up? Asked Ernie. If you can pass the test, said the chief said. In the meantime, there is a lot you can do. There is a lot you can do to prevent fires. Every home should have a smoke detector. If a fire starts when you are asleep, an alarm you'll wake up. An alarm will wake you up so you can get out safely and call the fire department. Don't play the matches ever, and don't play the knobs on the kitchen stove. Don't play near electric heaters. Ask your parents to write it down or your local fire emergency phone number and tape it to the wall near the phone. That's what Mr. Hooper did, said Ernie. Finally, it was time to go home. Ernie, Grover, and Big Bird thanked the chief for letting them visit. I'll tell Bert all about the fire station, said Ernie. I'll tell Snuffy all about the hose. It looks like his snuffle, said Big Bird. I will tell my mommy all about everything, said Grover. Then they shook hands with the chief. Hydra wanted to shake too. Everybody waved a goodbye. The end.